the face. Tell me that you love me, even if it's fake, 'cause I don't fucking care.
Every time North Korea does something provocative, which is often, Washington insists that Pyongyang must give up its nuclear weapons program. Just last weekend, days after North Korea launched its most high-tech intercontinental ballistic missile yet, National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster said that President Trump is committed to the total denuclearization of the Korean peninsula. Not that this line is confined to the Trump administration. The Obama and Bush administrations before it also repeatedly insisted that North Korea must denuclearize. That might have been a realistic aim before Pyongyang could build a hydrogen bomb and missiles that can reach the United States. It's just a matter of time before the North Koreans can put the two together, if they can't already. The Trump administration won't admit it, but North Korea is now a nuclear weapons power, analysts say. Why would Kim Jong-un's cash-strapped regime spend so much time and money on building these weapons only to give them up? And even if they were prepared to bargain them away eventually, why would they do so now, when Trump and his top aides are threatening military action? We've seen no indication in recent years that they are interested in denuclearization, said Myra Rapp Hooper, a North Korea expert at Yale Law School who was an Asia advisor to Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign. So it's difficult to rationalize how we are still so fixated on it. Trump's willingness to pull out of the international nuclear deal with Iran would only heighten North Korea's mistrust of a negotiated denuclearization agreement with the United States, he said. For 3 generations, since the current leader's grandfather, Kim Il-sung, was in power, North Korea has pursued nuclear weapons as a way to deter the United States and ensure the regime's survival. Pyongyang's perceived need for a powerful deterrent has only increased since Kim Jong-un took power 6 years ago this month. Young and inexperienced, he was 27 when he succeeded his father and had no military background. The third Kim has aggressively pursued nuclear weapons as a way to fend off outside threats and bolster his legitimacy inside North Korea. The only way you can convince them to denuclearize is to make nuclear armament costly enough to destabilize the regime, said Chun Young-woo, a former South Korean nuclear negotiator with the North. To do that would require a total economic blockade to suffocate the regime. Acknowledging that North Korea has nuclear weapons is a step that the Trump administration, like Obama's before it, has been unwilling to take. We don't want to admit that our policy has failed for successive presidents, Breaing said. Both administrations have urged China to use its leverage over North Korea. While Beijing says that denuclearization is its fundamental objective, it takes a much longer view of the process. From Beijing's perspective, it is unrealistic to expect an immediate denuclearization of North Korea, especially since the world has so far proved unable to even prevent the North's present capabilities from growing, Tong Zhou, a fellow at the Carnegie Tsinghua Center for Global Policy, wrote before Trump's visit to Beijing last month. In Washington, however, there is a growing sense that time is not on the United States side. Trump and McMaster have repeatedly said that military options are on the table, a message that North Korea takes especially seriously when U.S. fighter jets are practicing precision strikes on the Korean peninsula. This is coupled with frequent assertions that Kim is an irrational madman, a sick puppy, as Trump most recently put it, who can't be deterred in the way that the U.S. military deterred his father and grandfather.